On a Sunday morning, Kenyans are angry and they are still on the streets chanting, Ruto must go, Ruto must go. And that has become the national anthem of Kenya nowadays. At State House, Kenya, this is the action at State House.
Watu ni kubaya, ni kubaya, ni kubaya.
On a crack of dawn, Kenya is witnessing a lot of changes. The Gen Z movement is taking another drastic change after announcing for the protests to happen big for this week. These particular protests are going to happen inside Nairobi, Mombasa, and other major cities in Kenya to remember those who died brutally murdered by the police on last year.
Justice for Albert!
Hai, amepiga risasi kwa kichwa.
Justice for Boniface!
To commemorate the Gen Z who died or who are murdered brutally by the police. The ambulance you are seeing was carrying people to the hospital. Majority were injured by bullets sent out by the police. This is what we call animosity and police brutality. The president, instead of taking action, he is just mocking the young generation, the Gen Z, even sending guns inside the protest to make chaos and look like it is the Gen Z who are criminals. But in deep reality, the country is not rested, and people are vowing out that they are not going to relent, stop, until justice for the fallen heroes is fulfilled. Look at this particular guy who was shot in the street. That's a masked seller in the middle of the street. He was shot by one police officer. Kenyan Gen Z, in partnership with the millennials, have vowed to make it a history for launching and making it happen. The mega mass demonstration to ever been witnessed in this particular country. What side are you going to support? Are you going to support the victim or the victimizer? Bullets in air and humans are being terrorized in a country where democracy is viewed as a norm, but it is only a dictatorship deep in chaos.
It is very shameful that the police were supposed to protect us. They are siding with the goons. That plays reverse psychology. Police, shame on you. Stop siding with the goons. Side with the citizens who pay your salary through our taxes. Yes.
Mimi ni mwanabodaboda wa CBD na mambo ambayo tumeona leo ni mambo ya ajabu sana. Unapata wana bodaboda wamepatiwa pesa, wameitwa sijui kutoka wapi, wanakuja kuharibu jina ya wanabodaboda wa CPD. Wanakuja kupiga waandamanaji, of which waandamanaji wako na right yao ya kuandamana.
It's upon to you to make the right decision. It is a kind of a bit of a mockery when a whole president is watching as the innocent civilians are being killed by the police. And for your information, you may be asking who is sending these particular direct orders, shoot to kill for the protesters in the street.
I am telling you the truth. I am telling you the truth. I have clear instructions from His Excellency the President. I have very clear instructions and we know where we are going.
Why is the president angry to this particular extent of sending police to kill the online demonstrators and also the ground demonstrators? This might be the reason. Let us go back in the days. The main agenda the president promised the Kenyans once he entered in the office of the president back in 2022 is, I'll give youth a lot of jobs. I'll create an environment for online jobs, classes, whatever he was just doing. He was making sure he was getting the votes from the youths. Immediately, President William Ruto gotten what he wanted. After vowing to the young Gen Z millennials to vote for him, and once he got to that particular political office, nothing was fulfilled. The promises that he had already promised to the younger generation, in fact, things went worse. He promised for jobs, and after entering that particular office, do you know the frustration that came in? No jobs were accorded, and the few jobs that you were in, taxes were raised, the salary was reduced, you are getting nothing. He promised on creating online jobs, but there's nothing like online jobs. Believing in a president who seems to be a lunatic, who seems to care less about his own country. In fact, we started to nickname him international tourist, not our president anymore, because the days he was spending in his office were so less than the days that he was spending just out there visiting different countries, and enjoying the royalty for such a president. And then when given an international platform like in the US, like from France, from China, from these particular first world countries, do you know what he used to say? It will surprise you. How he is going to change Africa, how he is going to be the better president who is going to transform African dream into reality. Then we waited 2 days, 3 days, 4 months, and we were like, things are not getting better in our country. In fact, right now things are getting worse than they were before. The prices of fuel started to rocket high. Taxes, oh my God. Mentioning about taxes, right now as we are speaking, the main problem that we have as a country is how taxes has been increased. We are paying the value added tax and other extra taxes. Apart from that, they introduced something that you call a house tax. That's crazy. And do you know, for them to pass the bill in parliament for the house tax, how they came to put Kenyans in a box? This is how they reward us. We are going to introduce another form of tax whereby you will be paid your full amount of money after 7 years, and that particular money will come back in interest. It is like you will be loaning the government. But we came later to realize that it was non-refundable. In fact, it was put as a tax, not a loan. Can you get that? And the houses that were being constructed were not under the government. Were those particular affordable housing projects happening all over the country were projects belonging to private individuals, close associates of the president. And that is the reason why majority of Kenyans were mad. They were like, we cannot be taxed. We cannot be giving our money forcefully. Do you imagine, for your salary, 50% or 60% is going back to the government, 40% is coming back to you. And the prices of things have skyrocketed. Do you know, the life has turned to be miserable. A person who was living in a 5-bedroom mansion, right now he has, instead of upgrading, he has downgraded to a 2-bedroom house, fixing. And then the president just come out and he is just dumping out there, just saying how he has created a good room for development to kick in the country. To add salt to that particular thing, he went ahead and ordered police to kill innocent civilians who are like, I keep on saying this, that each and every particular place that you see people like fools, there are certain particular characters there who are so clever more than you. So when the clever people started to realize we are being conned, they started to educate these particular foolish fellows, and right now All of Kenyans have turned to be clever. Suddenly. That's the crazy situation above Kenya right now. Immediately that went out there, everyone is mad at the president. You know, you people keep on saying that Africa cannot develop because the citizen cannot take any action. But right now in Kenya, we are undergoing a certain that we call revolution. This is the revolution that we need. This is the revolution that is happening in Kenya. Even if we are not going to see the results today, we are going to see the results tomorrow because we will be dictating how the country should be run. We are not going to allow a room for corruption. Afraid there is a lot of deals that have been cancelled, and those particular deals, like I can generally say, there is a deal, quote unquote, for making Jomo Kenyatta International Airport a better place. People came out to realize, oh my God, the company is going to be given Adani who is a corrupt private company. And immediately after we called out that, the president was like, we need to drop this particular case because it's going to be a baggage to the country. And that is a result of us talking in the whatever we are talking, man, like the way we are just talking about it right now. The crazy thing right now, they have introduced in the bill uh to try and buy a machine that is going to neutralize or kill the ongoing online activism. When you mention about anything to do with government, that particular post, when you post it online, it is being shadow banned. No one will see that particular post. No one will see that particular video. That is the reason they have passed the Finance Bill 2025-2026 so fast. People are not aware about that because there were a lot of dramas happening. And those particular dramas led to people to be ignorant about the actual finance bill. It's going to be heavy, but you know what? As we keep on saying, this is the last term for the president. As we head to elections in 2027, we'll try and make sure that we elect the best leaders possible. Because I cannot believe that we are going to go back to this particular madness. I can't believe. You know what? My good name is Santre Jenga, and this is EMK exclusive. See you in the next video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Watu wangu hapa. Bye bye.